Welcome to this week's TDD Weekly Report for the week ending November 7th. First, I have, similar to one of my last TDD reports where a guy took it upon himself to take a VW Beetle and turn it into a jet Beetle. Well, somebody's actually decided to build the Batman Tumbler vehicle, the one with the odd close together wheels up front and the real big massive tires on back that was in two Batman movies. A guy named Bob Dullum decided to build this. He built it all from scratch except for the tires, engine, brakes, and rims. And as I'm talking about this, I'll be posting the pictures up there so you can take a look. And if you want to see this and other unusual things too, this is from odditycentral.com. That's odditycentral.com, and I'll either post it up front on the view or off to the side in the comments, so in case you want to check that out. And the cost was around 50 to 70 grand, and he does not plan on selling it at all. He said with the time and the effort put into it, there's no way he would want to sell it. But he did a very good job, and I guess all he had to work with were a few pictures and the DVDs that Batman came on, so that's all he had to work with, but I think he did a pretty good job. Next up, everybody that is a vlogger, and especially motorcycle vloggers on a budget, you're always looking for a decent quality camera that costs a little bit less bucks than all the rest of the cameras, or something cheap to get started with. If you like the Vado camera, here's a camera to me that seems like almost similar to a knockoff of the Vado, but because it doesn't have enough built-in memory like the Vado does, you save quite a bit of bucks and you can put an SD card instead, whereas the Vado, it's the memory you've got. This one, if you have SD cards like 1 gig, 2 gig laying around or something like that, just buy this one and save bucks by not using the not having the extra memory. It's got built-in 32 megs. I think it's called a Coby Cam 3000. Go on Amazon, just type Coby space Cam, and I think the 3000 model comes up as one of the first ones. But it's 30 bucks plus free Super Saver shipping, so pretty much that's the entire cost. So far, still the cheapest I've found, the Vado SD, was at the Dell website for around 42 bucks, but I think you have to pay shipping too, so it gets close to 50 bucks by the time you're done with that. If you also want to see how the Coby Cam does, a guy that works for Mad Magazine called Dick DiBartolo, he actually filmed a couple of his videos and posted them on YouTube showing you how the Coby Cam works. From what I can just see in that little video, it seems to be at least as good a quality as what the Vado standard def that I use too, and the microphone seems to work fine. So in case you want to check that out, a cheap way to go, especially if you have SD cards laying around. Last up, before I get to the Vlogger Polar Bear Challenge, Jake Evil Clown wanted me to do a quick shout out, and I'm always willing to do that because he's probably about my most requested guest that I have on my show. Now, he said he only has a little bit more to finish up, and he should have his next report out that I can use and post on the TDD report. So just stay tuned, and his new channel and his new reports are going to be called Future News 2.0. So stay tuned for that. Jake Evil Clown will eventually make his way back on the TDD reports, hopefully fairly soon. Okay, lastly, this is about the Polar Bear Vlogger Challenge, started by Mike Haley 7, and basically he's going to be participating, and I'm going to be taking over as the judge. As of November 10th, he will no longer be an administrator on the site. I've just got him administrator right now on the Ning site. I'll put that up here too, or on the side by the comments, the Ning site to come to check on everything, rules, regulations, who all's joining. Right now we have a list of 8 people, including 2 female vloggers, so let's get going. Anybody that wants to join. Now, I'm not going to limit it to where you have to join by November 15th. You can join anywhere during the contest time from November 15th to February 15th if you want to post a video and cut it so close to post it the last day, but by no means all of a sudden if November 15th comes and goes, don't think that you can't join in. Just join in the middle of it or whatever. The channel names, these are, I'm going to give the YouTube channel names. These are the ones that are participating right now. There are 8. Ashfoot, Critics View, Lori Jennifer, Lark Zero, Mike Haley 7, Mean Machine, and that's with the E's are 3's instead of E's, Mean Machine, the Smyrna Cowboy, and White Buck 86. So those are the ones so far, and if you're listening to this and you haven't let me know in some shape or form, you don't have to come to the Ning site if you don't want to. You don't have to sign up with the Ning site, but somehow let me know by email or send me a PM through the YouTube channel. suburbanryder, spelled with an I, at gmail.com. Let me know you're going to participate. Participate as little as you want, as much as you want. It's about having fun. 3 questions I want to address too. As people come up with questions, I'd like to address them in the last part of the report too. Ashfoot was asking about people using heated gear and dividing that into a subcategory or giving them less points for riding with heated gear. Just to keep it simpler, I'm not going to bother to do that. If you absolutely want to do it, I don't have any problem with it really. Stop by a discount store and get some of those disposable heated pads and throw them in your gloves or whatever. If it causes you to go out and make vlogs, it's all about making more content during the winter and making more original videos. So I'm not going to divide into subcategories for heated gear. If you have heated handlebars, a heated vest, by all means use it. It's part of learning how to do cold weather riding. And that leads me to the second question. Star Hobo 14 was talking about the safety issue. If for any reason you do not feel comfortable with this, just stay back at the sidelines and watch. Now, in my opinion, any additional skill you can add to your skill set is always good, but be sure you're ready and comfortable to do that. I think cold weather riding, especially for us in the upper Midwest, is a pretty much essential skill, because if you travel any distance, if you're not a local weekend rider, you may get caught in the cold sometime and be forced to deal with it, and it's good to practice when you're starting. I mean, check the roads out. A lot of times when I choose to ride during December and January, I will go out and run an errand in my four-wheeled vehicle and check the road situation to see if they're completely dry and if there's no chance there's any water or anything like that that could freeze. So I still think it is an important skill if you feel comfort, but like anything else, like contests, like on rides, anything like that, never push yourself beyond what you're comfortable with or what you think your skill level is able to handle. And lastly, I had a question from Lori Jennifer about, can you use a bank thermometer? Absolutely. Now, I think they do tend to read a little bit high, so if you're seeing 32 degrees on a bank thermometer, you're probably really riding in 30 degrees or lower. But yeah, if you want to do that rather than buy a thermometer of some kind or do it a different way, part of your qualifying ride, make sure you pass by a bank thermometer that shows the temperature. That's fine too. It's not about being picky on this, it's about having fun. And a lot of contests I participate in too, I only maybe get 1 or 2 entries in and not even enough to qualify, but you know what? It's about having the fun of doing it. And like I said, I'm going to participate and get my 3 qualifying rides on, even though I'm not going to put myself in the running for prizes. So just do it for the fun of it. If for some reason you only have time towards the last of the contest to put up one of your winter rides or one of your cold weather rides, go ahead and do it for the fun of it. It's all about making vids. It's all about original content during the winter, because that's the reason why we started this contest. So take care, everybody. I will catch you next week.